What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Twin Mirror. Now, this is a game from Don't Nod Entertainment. If you guys know who I am, whether it be from this channel or on Podcast Now, you'll know that I have pretty tough love for Don't Nod with what they've done with the Life is Strange franchise up until this point. Obviously, a very up and down experience for sure. And Twin Mirror was, if you guys remember, back in 2018, this was going to be like their next game. So we knew Life is Strange 2 was coming, and then they announced that Twin Mirror was happening, okay? And this would be kind of like it is a crime, like detective like game. Again, kind of using supernatural-y elements, right? Where he gets to kind of experience things in his own head, figures out puzzles, figures out crimes, gets to talk to different people, goes around the city. I had watched some of the gameplay. I'm sure you guys are seeing some of the gameplay here as well. It looks interesting. It looks solid. It doesn't look like the greatest thing in the world. It's very rough around the edges. The voice acting is not very good at all. Graphics somewhat hold up, but then when you examine them a little bit closer, also don't hold up. But again, this is based actually entirely on gameplay and on trailers from 2018, from halfway through 2018, because from that point on, we've had nothing on this game. The only thing we had is last year, back in June of 2019. So it's almost been a year since that point. We learned that Twin Mirror had been delayed. There was going to be 3 episodes to this game, and the first episode was supposed to launch in 2019. Again, June 2019, they decided and they said that the game is going to be delayed into 2020. Here we are. We're into 2020. Life is Strange 2 is completely done now, and Don't Nod really has this game and Tell Me Why. Now, Tell Me Why is a game that they've partnered with Microsoft. This game, Twin Mirror, is published by Bandai Namco. So they got 2 different publishers for these 2 different games, and it's just pretty darn honestly, for a game like this, it's very, very worrying. Don't Nod's been making a lot of stuff, okay? And again, if you're asking me, I'd say they've had a very iffy and spotty record with it. In fact, if you ask me, I'd say the only majorly successful thing they've done is the first season of Life is Strange. If you go back all the way to Remember Me, if you go back to Vampire or Vampire, however you want to say it, I bought that game day one. I played it. I did not think that game was good at all. I thought that game was actually very, very rough. And so when you look at it, they're kind of like throwing a bunch of these things to the wall. And again, like, do I respect them? I think they've done a very good job at times. I think they can. I don't want to bash them entirely, because I do think they are very, very talented and they can make a solid game. And again, this game looks and like has the potential to be a very different and very cool game. Okay, it really, really does. It truly does. And especially if they can nail a release schedule, they have 3 very solid episodes, just come out one right after the other. This could be something very good. It could be thought of, in my opinion, as a bounce back effort from them. But when you look at this game, you look at Tell Me Why, I feel like Tell Me Why has kind of become like that game that they're pushing more of now. Now, maybe it's because it's published by Microsoft. That game has like a release window. They said they want to start that in the summer, right, over like the summer months, and that it would only be a couple weeks in between episodes, not a couple months. So Tell Me Why could be in and be out like in a flash, and it could be over with, and we're still left with Twin Mirror that, again, we saw gameplay almost 2 years ago at this point, and then since that point, since I believe like October of 2018, we've gotten nothing except for June of 2019. They announced its delay, and then even from then to where we are right now, almost an entire year later, we've seen and we've heard nothing. All we are hearing about now is Tell Me Why, which is fine, and that game looks interesting, I guess, in its own ways, and I'd be interested to see how that game does. If you guys want me to cover that, I can absolutely do that. But a game like Twin Mirror, you know, I was never really all that into it. I remember when they were kind of teasing it. I remember when it was first announced. And I remember thinking, oh, this looks interesting. Looking at it now, I haven't looked at this game in also since 2 years ago. I've forgotten a lot about it. But looking at it now, yeah. I mean, to say it's rough around the edges is an understatement. But it's been so long since they had, you know, again, shown it to us. I am worried because I feel like it could be a situation where this could be an example of where, like, Don't Nod is just going to drop this game from existence, right? Maybe they have settled in with Life is Strange and Tell Me Why, and they're like, you know what, we're gonna do Tell Me Why. We have a confidence in it. It's gonna be pretty darn different. We're gonna get out there. It's gonna release very, very quickly. We're gonna be done with it. We got Life is Strange 3 that we're working on, because I'm sure they are doing that, and things like that. And maybe they've just kind of, again, settled in on that approach, and maybe they can't juggle 3, because again, that's a lot. I mean, as of right now, literally right now, you have to imagine they're literally making Twin Mirror and Tell Me Why at the exact same time in some capacity. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know if they have two different teams, but in some way, in Don't Nod, because they're both being made by Don't Nod Entertainment, they have to be working on at least those two. Also, then are they prototyping like Life is Strange 3 stuff? Also, you could say go back like 8, 9, 10 months ago. Were they making Life is Strange 2, Tell Me Why, and Twin Mirrors all at the same time? That's a lot. And if we've learned anything from Telltale, which Don't Nod isn't Telltale, but there are similarities for sure, making too many games at the same time leads to a big downfall, right? Telltale got way in over their head. They had way too many teams. They had way too many just structural mistakes, and that led to them completely collapsing. You cannot build a studio. Look at how Telltale did it, and then nobody else should ever do that, because even Telltale has admitted that was awful. Like, that literally just destroyed us because we were doing way too many things all at the same time, and they were. I mean, at a time, they could have been making 3-4 different games, let alone episodes in those games. So it was absolutely insane. I don't want Don't Nod to do that. I don't want Don't Nod to close. I don't want them to end up like Telltale did. Although, obviously, Skybound finished Walking Dead, and then Telltale is back, and they're making Wolf Among Us. So those, I mean, it's good. It's a nice redemption thing, I guess, for Telltale that they did end up surviving. But I would like to see this game. I'd at least like to see it again. Like, I would want a trailer, at least to prove to me that this game is still in development. And if the game was supposed to release at some point in 2019, here we are almost halfway through 2020. It is getting worrying because, like, if they don't do it this year, then it's 2 years off of when they originally thought it was going to come out. And then at that point, it's like, okay, when do you just kind of come out and say, we're done? Like, this game is just going to be canceled. We're not going to do it anymore. It will be interesting to see. But I know a lot of this has been bashing them and Don't Nod and Twin Mirrors, but I think it looks solid. I think at worst, it looks solid. I don't think it looks amazing, but I don't hate it. I think I would support them and I would support this game, but I need to see, firstly, that it's still happening, and then I would like to see more. We haven't really seen more than a couple minutes here and there of footage of it, and I would just like to know the game is still being worked on. So, guys, what do you think? Do you remember this game? Are you still interested in it? What do you think is going on over there at Don't Nod? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all of these videos go up, and I do a new video on this channel every single day, so you can always expect a new video the next day, and I hope to see you guys there.